Sam Elliott doesn't just act in westerns. He lives by their code. With his deep voice, weathered face, and unshakable presence, he's become the face of a dying breed in Hollywood. But behind that iconic mustache and quiet strength is a man deeply frustrated with what the industry has become. While most actors try to stay politically correct or avoid drama, Sam Elliott does the opposite. He speaks his truth, bluntly and unapologetically. And when he talks, people listen, even if they don't agree. At 80 years old, he's not chasing fame, trends, or attention. He's defending something he believes is worth protecting: the soul of acting, and especially the values of the Western tradition. For Sam, the Western isn't just a genre. It's a way of life. He believes real acting doesn't need flashy effects, fake emotions, or loud performances. It's about discipline, silence, and truth. The kind of truth that doesn't come from pretending but from understanding. When he watches modern films pretending to be westerns, he doesn't see truth. He sees performance. He sees actors who don't understand the world they're trying to represent. And that's what sets him off. His most famous critique came after watching the 2021 film, The Power of the Dog, a movie that tried to reshape the Western by showing a softer, more psychological version of masculinity. The lead actor, Benedict Cumberbatch, plays a rancher with deep emotional issues. But to Sam Elliott, the whole thing felt like a joke. He didn't hold back. He mocked the film for its fancy attitude and called Cumberbatch's performance prissy. He couldn't take it seriously. For Sam, a British actor playing an American cowboy, complete with a stiff accent and awkward posture, was just wrong. He said it lacked authenticity, that Cumberbatch didn't have the background or understanding to carry the weight of that role. And it wasn't just about one actor or one film. It was about what Hollywood is turning the Western into. To Sam, they were watering it down, turning something raw and real into something artsy and disconnected. Critics instantly jumped on Sam, calling him outdated and insensitive. Some accused him of trying to gatekeep the genre, refusing to accept new versions of old stories. But Sam didn't flinch. He didn't apologize. He stood by everything he said, calling it a defense of legacy, not an attack on progress. Interestingly, Benedict Cumberbatch never publicly responded. And that silence only made the moment feel heavier. Some people close to the film said the studio thought about issuing a statement but decided it wasn't worth fueling the fire. Sam Elliott had already made his mark, and he wasn't going to back down. This wasn't the first time he spoke out, and it wouldn't be the last. The frustration Sam feels toward today's Hollywood doesn't stop with Cumberbatch. He sees it in younger actors too. People who rise to fame not through craft but through charisma, social media, and marketing. One of the names that comes up is Ashton Kutcher. They worked together on the Netflix show, The Ranch, a modern Western-style comedy with darker themes. On screen they got along. Behind the scenes, it was a different story. Sam respected Kutcher as a co-worker, but he didn't hide his opinion that Kutcher lacked depth as an actor. To Sam, Ashton was more of a brand than an artist. Someone who got famous by being charming, then tried acting like he'd watched tutorials online. Sam found it hard to connect with someone who didn't treat acting like a craft, but more like a performance for clicks and likes. And while Ashton spoke highly of Sam in interviews, praising his experience and presence, Sam remained quiet, polite but distant. That silence said more than words. It showed a growing divide between two versions of Hollywood, the old and the new. Sam believes acting should be about telling stories that matter, not just playing characters that trend. He worries that the industry has become too focused on image, fame, and short-term attention. In his view, it's turning storytelling into entertainment built on algorithms rather than authenticity. And this isn't just about younger stars. Even seasoned actors with big reputations don't get a free pass. One of the most extreme examples in Sam's eyes is Nicolas Cage. Known for his wild performances and unpredictable energy, Cage is the complete opposite of what Sam values in acting. Cage's characters are loud, flashy, and often steal every scene with their intensity. But to Sam Elliott, that kind of acting is exhausting and empty. They appeared together in the 2007 film Ghost Rider, but you wouldn't have guessed they worked side by side. Sam stayed in his lane, did his job, and avoided confrontation. But he couldn't help but feel that Cage was doing more of a one-man show than telling a story with others. Sam later described his performances as fireworks, loud, bright, but without real heat. It's a clever way of saying Cage puts on a show but doesn't leave anything behind. And that's the opposite of what Sam tries to do. He believes acting is about restraint, about doing less to say more. While Cage wants the audience to feel his power, Sam wants them to feel the story. This difference in philosophy is at the heart of everything Sam believes. Acting, to him, isn't about being seen, it's about being felt. And when the spotlight becomes more important than the story, something is lost. That belief has affected not just his work relationships but also his personal ones. One of the most surprising turns in Sam's life was his quiet split from longtime friend and co-star Jeff Bridges. The two had a powerful on-screen connection in movies like The Big Lebowski, and off-screen, they shared a deep bond built on mutual respect and shared values. But after Bridges won his Oscar for Crazy Heart, something changed. He started attending high-profile events, doing fashion shoots, and becoming more involved in political and celebrity circles. To most people, this looked like a natural evolution. But to Sam, it felt like a betrayal of everything they had once stood for. He never spoke out directly against Jeff, but his comments grew colder. When asked about their friendship, Sam once replied, "Some folks change, others just show who they always were." Fans read between the lines and understood the message. The two slowly stopped appearing at the same events. They stopped supporting each other's projects. There was no dramatic fallout, just a quiet fading of a friendship that once seemed unbreakable. This wasn't just about hurt feelings. It was about Sam feeling abandoned by someone who once shared his values. And that heartbreak added another layer to his already strong resistance to Hollywood's changing ways. Sam isn't looking for perfection. He's looking for realness. That's why one of the actors he's most critical of is Jared Leto. Known for his extreme method acting, Leto is famous for going to extreme lengths to prepare for roles. Staying in character for months, sending strange gifts to castmates, and even creating tension on set for the sake of realism. To Sam Elliott, this isn't commitment. It's a circus. He once said that real actors disappear into their roles quietly. They don't make it about themselves. They don't turn the process into a stunt. He views Leto's style as over-the-top theatrics that serve the actor's ego, not the story. In fact, when Sam was approached about a project Leto was involved in, he reportedly backed out without making a scene. That decision speaks louder than any interview could. It shows just how far Sam is willing to go to protect what he believes acting should be. In all these stories, one thing becomes clear. Sam Elliott is fighting for something most people don't even realize is at risk. He's not bitter or jealous. He's just honest. To him, acting is sacred. It's about the human experience, told simply and truthfully. And as Hollywood drifts further toward fame, flash and spectacle, Sam stands his ground. He knows he's in the minority. He knows he sounds old-fashioned. But he doesn't care. Because what he's protecting isn't just a style. It's a legacy. It's the quiet dignity of the cowboy. The weight of silence. The power of less. Sam Elliott might be one of the last actors in Hollywood who still lives by a code. He doesn't chase trends. He doesn't pretend to like what he doesn't. And he doesn't hide how he feels. Whether he's criticizing award-winning films or calling out Hollywood royalty, he does it because he cares. Not about being popular, but about being real. And that's something rare in any industry, let alone one built on illusion. Now here's the real question. Do you agree with Sam Elliott's views? Was he too harsh, or just honest? Which of his critiques surprised you the most? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you found this story interesting, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more surprising Hollywood truths.